So I think I would just let John take the wheel.
All right. Woo! It's always a pleasure to be here. You are so generous. You have given general evaluation 2 times to speak. So first of all, I'm going to speak something. Many of you are doing the level 1, project 2, right? 2 of you are doing that under the pathway.
Yes.
Right, that is after your icebreaker. I think this is important. You do the first one. And then you're going to do another one. Actually, the same thing. So actually, this is very important for the evaluator. Before the evaluation starts, evaluator, please be very, very, very careful in giving your evaluations because it has to be very specific. You have to do 1, 2, and 3. You cannot say, oh, he can be a little bit more, the posture can be a little bit better, you can be a more eye contact. That's very, very vague, and whoever listens to evaluation cannot improve. So this is really a test for the evaluator. So for the evaluator, we're going to have 2 evaluators for that. Please be very careful, get very specific how exactly he can improve the next time. And it's very important for the speaker to listen to that because next time, hopefully the same evaluator will evaluate you. He will say whether he has improved or not. And also, the audience will know whether you have improved or not. You know how important it is? It is immediately after the icebreaker. So actually, what they want to teach you, they want to teach you how to evaluate and how to be evaluated immediately in the beginning of the project. Do you know why? Otherwise, you will be wasting your time, wasting everybody's time. Because I've seen Toastmaster, they have been for 10 years, 20 years. They have not improved a bit because they will repeat the same thing. So that's why in the pathway it is so important from the very beginning. So when the evaluation comes, I'm going to listen very carefully. Every single evaluator, especially for the pathway, be very careful. And this is a test for you. And for the evaluator, for the speakers, listen very, very carefully. Because next time, whatever the evaluator said, you're going to perform it. Because the evaluator is going to say whether you have done it or not. So you will not be wasting your time, the time the evaluators and time of the audience. That is, are you timing me? No. You have to time me, right? Okay, just one more thing. One more thing, because timing is important for everybody. Jerry, Van, everybody. Okay, I'm just going to say one thing because I think my time is up already. One thing. Okay, we say, I heard some people say this word, and this is a problem for many of the Chinese people like me, or Taiwanese people like me. I'm going to ask any one of you to pronounce that word, the second word. Anyone, in the back, I think. Monica, you have taken your mask. You have to. You want to say it?
Pressure. Pressure. Pressure.
Again?
Pressure.
Again?
Pressure.
Okay, you listen to that. Okay. You have a mask. Take off your mask.
Pleasure.
Again?
Pleasure.
Okay, you know what is the difference? We always make it is a pleasure, it's not a pressure. Very different. It's my pressure. Oh, you're doing pressure is 压力. Pleasure is very different. It is my pleasure to be here today. And I will, if this is my pleasure to be here today, I will never come back again. It is pleasure. 这发音有什么不一样？这叫齿静音 ，with your tongue 顶到你牙齿后面那个肉，那叫齿静。Pleasure, not pressure. Pressure 是压力。你说，Oh, it's my pleasure to be here today. 完蛋了 you totally ruined everything. So it's please,
Pleasure.
Pleasure.
嘴巴张开来，这边不是有个牙齿吗？牙齿后面有块肉，对不对？ 你的舌头要顶到那个肉。Pleasure, it is my pleasure.
Pleasure.
Pressure， 这个加舌头到后面来了 ，right? Please make that distinction. You are not counting my time either. Okay. May I invite the first evaluator, please? He will be evaluated. It's a very difficult job. He will going to evaluate Mark, but your thing is not. You're a CC, right? Doesn't matter. You do whatever. No, it's okay. You don't have to do it. Thank you, sir. May I invite David Ma, please? Woo! All right, good. David. Always a pleasure working with you, David.
Mike, thanks for your sharing tonight. No, not tonight, today. Before, I don't know. I just think maybe it's just myself who doesn't like to answer the bank insurance man call. But today I know everyone does it because no one raise your hand to say you like it. Even you guys work for the bank. Yeah, I think that's my first observation today. Mike, I have to say, today your speech really was persuasive and powerful. Why I say that? Because this topic, I think, is everyone's business. Because we coming out for work, and most of the time we just get the mission from our boss. No matter it's easy job or difficult job, but I'm sure there's no easy job in the world, even you think you like it. So the first is your topic, really impressed. Yeah, that's very good. And if I can give you some suggestion, I think your core value, you face it, just repeat and repeat, right? Your tip, just face it. I think if you can try to make more up and down, it means first you have to define why you said the insurance call is stressed. You know, you have to say how difficult it is. Why you? Maybe you want to ask your boss why you. It's very stressed. No, it's very annoying, I know. So first, if you can try to make it more stressed, and when you get rejected from your customer, you have to show how big you are depressed. And we know, wow, it's really a very big stress. And then, if you can share more tips, because I think it's a process. It's not just try and try again and again, but it must have some tips, maybe from your customer, from your boss, from your colleagues, must give you some tips, and you can get the dessert finally. And one more suggestion, I think, is your speech title. Because dessert, if you reserve, it should be stressed. You have to do with ED. Yeah, this will be much more fit to your speech. And all in all, I believe today is a very persuasive and a powerful speech. I really like it. If you can try to consolidate more in your tips, the process, to describe the process more, I believe this will be a very, very wonderful speech. Thank you.
Thank you. Always a pleasure working with you, David. Now may I invite the next David? Come here, right? Be very careful. Whatever you say has to be very concrete. You are put on test now.
The power of imagination. Wow, such an interesting story and a topic you share. And when I see the topic, I really expect what Jamie will going to share of her speech. Today, I need to share my appreciation to Jamie for sharing so interesting and inspirational speeches based on her personal experience when she was a child. I really love her speech for a few parts. The first one is the content. Her content is very clear to follow because she used some simple words and sentences so that the audience will feel easy to understand what she was talking about instead of feeling confused by her maybe some difficult words. So the first part, she did a wonderful job to use the simple words and simple sentences to talk about her story. And the second part of her story is the structure part. In the opening part, she asked a question, how to create a magic by imaginations. Based on the question, the audience will have more imagination and expectation of her speech. So that's another part. She did another wonderful job. And the last but not least is the transition part. She used two episodes to emphasize her maybe some difficulties and chances to visit the concert. The first one is her money was stolen. And the second part is he find another chances to visit the concert, that is, send a postcard to the DJ studio. So based on the three parts, I believe Jamie did a wonderful job to talk about the story, the power of imagination. So I need to share my appreciation to Jamie's wonderful speech. However, since your speech is really good enough, and here's just some parts I want to challenge Jamie. The first one is the delivering part. When Jamie delivered her speech, I noticed that her eye contact and body language and the movement on the stage can be wider, so that Jamie will have more interaction with the audience to talk about her story efficiently. And the second part is the sentence. Jamie can also add some sentence such as, guess what? My money was stolen. Use the tone to emphasize her feeling. And another sentence when he opens the door, he opens the window to emphasize she find another chances to visit the concerts. All in all, Jamie did a wonderful job to talk about the story, the power of imagination. I really appreciate Jamie's work. General Evaluator.
I have some comment for that later on. All right, the next. Thank you, David. We are good friends. You know, we help each other. I'm not here to criticize. We're helping each other. Can we have the third evaluator, please? All right, Kara. All right. Okay.
Dalton, thank you for sharing your story. You know, 2 days ago, I planned to prepare for being your individual evaluator. So I checked what's your topic. And then I got a hint. Just do it later. So I planned to prepare for it yesterday. That's a really nice topic. I love it so much. And there are several things I enjoy about your speech. The first thing is I noticed you will deliver your speech with smiles on your face. That's really nice because sometimes you will find some speakers, they are very serious. They want to try their best to memorize their scripts or memorize their last lines, and they forget to bring some smiles on their face. However, I noticed you smile while you deliver your speech. That's really nice, and your audience will feel that you feel at ease on the stage. So I really like the part, really much. And besides, I also noticed you use easy words to deliver your story. That is really fantastic because you don't need very difficult words to tell your story. The main point of your speech is to tell your audience the main idea you want to tell your audience. So I really think you did a great job to engage your audience, and I also find out you make your audience laugh. That's really fantastic, and I think you are a very interesting person, and you are a very potential contestant to be a humorous contest. And I noticed you organize your speech in 3 reasons. I really like that part. And as your individual evaluator, to make your speech from good to better, I will suggest that I notice you look at the ceiling all the time. You try to memorize your last line, but perhaps next time you can try to say your first reason and look at the left side, and the second reason this side, and the third reason this side. That perhaps can make your speech more effective. And for conclusion part, you can repeat your 3 reasons again, so it will improve your audience impression about your speech. To conclusion, I love your speech very much. You know how to make your audience laugh, and you create an interesting and comfortable atmosphere. I can't wait to see your improvements in your future speech. General Evaluator.
Thank you very much. I think now we have the honor to have Elaine, our language evaluator. Before I ask her, she is the only one who sent me the message about her guilty. Again?
Pleasure.
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 Not pressure, all right? Pleasure.
Pleasure.
Guilty?
Pleasure.
Got it, you guys got it. And her guilty pleasure, she wants to play Pokemon, right? And she said, I feel so guilty because that's for child. If you know Elaine, she's a child. Anyway, so may we have this child, Elaine, please? She's a child in her mind. And that's something we all treasure. Elaine! All right, takes a little bit. She has to make the makeup and all right, here she comes. All right. The child in her heart.
I'm so sorry I am not well prepared, but I don't want to waste everyone's time, so let me start immediately while Mike help me with this. All right, and yeah, so this. I'm so sorry. Okay, let me start with the good usages. Today I hear some good expressions and words, so let me share with you. The first one is her voice is so tender, nothing like me. Nothing like me, it means not at all similar to someone or something. And when we were playing the game with in the variety session, there are only two countries with the name starts with B, right? So the Venezuela, I think maybe someone don't know the spelling as I did. So I spelled it for you. Venezuela, please refer to, it's not clear enough. Should we turn the light off? Okay, and the two countries starts with the letter B. Is another besides Vietnam. The other is Venezuela. Oh, sorry, with the letter Z. Besides Zambia, I lack of a in the end. Sorry. The other is Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe. And while I was typing, I thought I was wrong all the time. It should be Zimbabwe, not Zimbabwe. So I didn't know there was a B in the middle of it. And I heard a good expression, very nice. imagination can't be underestimated. And the other one, just do it later, help us prevent backfire. And in this case, backfire is a noun, and it can also be used as a verb. So again, while I was pasting the words from Word to PowerPoint, one letter was missed. His plans backfired on him. There's a M not there. I accept that I'm lazy and reluctant, and I think it was very brave to say it out loud. And to make peace with someone or something, that's also beautiful. And procrastination is someone's guilty pleasure, and I think that's also mine. So the verb is to procrastinate or to put off. And I'll just let John take the wheel. I think that's the first time I hear this expression. Besides, I'll hand the control to someone. That's also good. And for the pronunciation, I have heard repeatedly that the TME or G or anyone, they say section all the time in Toastmasters, but I believe we have different sessions, not sections, in our meetings. And for the short vowel, that's practice, because sometimes we say it for too long. Contest, contestant, steps, stress, better, pleasure, expect. And for long vowel, sometimes we say too short, so that's practice again. My job is to count how many R's you made. Take the challenge. Favorite, painfully, just do it later. I gained 8 kilograms. Face the thing that occurred to us. Persuasive. And for the A sound, sometimes we say not A and not but like that. So that's practice. Something bad for us. I'll be fat if I drink too much beer. Daddy, Jack, Anna. And for the O sound, we say O sound, like O sound. So boss, audience. And for something that can be changed or put some attention to, I love her way of speaking English. I will present my report for every speaker, no need S. While I was in the branch, I don't like insurance. And I think this story happened in the past, so I didn't like insurance. Push our ranking forward, this sounds a little bit weird, so if it were me, I would say to upgrade our ranking. And it was very hurt to do something. I think it should be, it hurts to blah, blah. And I tried to stand on my customer's shoes. Maybe it's better to say, I tried to put myself in my customer's shoes. That was my age of 12. I think maybe that you can say, that happened when I was 12. Or that was a story when I was 12. Or that happened while I was in the age of 12. I was wondering if I would have the outcome to be graduated. Maybe have the outcome is a little bit redundant. So I was wondering if I should graduate. I started to wonder why we attended the Taiji class. This is maybe a little bit translated directly from Chinese, so if it were me, I would say I couldn't help but wonder, blah, blah. And when I after work, maybe you want to say when I'm off work or after I get off work. And because my time's up, so I'm so sorry for not being prepared enough. Let John take the wheel.
I will take the wheel. All right. Can we have the timer report, please?
Okay. 5 minutes and 57 seconds.
5:50.
57.
550, right?
57.
15.
And 57. 57.
Oh, 57. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Okay.
And 6:02.
Very good.
5:50.
550, right?
Yeah. And tabletop monitor 125.
125.
And Peter, 127.
Very good.
Mike, 119.
Very good.
Jake, 149.
149. Good.
Anna is 115.
115. Very good. Our counter, please. Is that finished? And also,
Evaluation.
yeah, evaluation. Yes, David.
And 323.
323. Wow, exactly. Oh, good.
And 336.
36.
Yeah.
A little bit too long, right?
Yeah. And Kara, 258.
2,
58.
58. Okay, very good. Carol is good with A. Okay, that's it, right? The
Right.
arc-
Up.
Mike?
0.
0. Are you sure?
Two.
2. All right. 8. Right? Okay. That's how we learn. No problem. Monica? 2. 5.
Mike 1.
5.
One.
Oh, 1.
Jack 4.
Mike 1.
Yeah.
Jack 4.
Anna 2.
2. All right. Evaluator?
David Mark 1.
1.
David Chen 2.
2.
Kara 1.
1. Okay, thank you. That's it. Okay, very good. Okay, thank you. Okay, I would like to have some comments for you. Please count my time.
Okay.
All of us. You are the boss. You say, get out of the stage. Get out of the stage. And that's the discipline. I was here at 9:30, and you guys are already here. All the officers are starting the officer club. I said, John, you go out of the room. So I went out of the room because I'm going to have a lunch. And this is wonderful. This is wonderful. Again, I just want to reiterate, you have no idea how fortunate you are to have this kind of meeting. A lot of people, Carol especially, but I talk about you later. I was so impressed. It's a lot of people's work to have this opportunity, so please grab it. If you don't grab it, the opportunity will just go. It will never come back. All right? Okay, Tina. Kara, of course, is wonderful. He was saying that, Kara, where are you? Yeah, I just want to say you have four questions, your 4 steps, right? And you forgot the step 3. Because actually step 2 and step 3 are basically the same thing. So actually I would suggest, for instance, what do you say is this way, using simple English, face it, right? Basically you say face it, the challenges, understand it, and do it little by little. For instance, by doing that, you face it, you understand what are your challenges, then you start doing it. Simple, right? To try to, the whole about the speech is how to organize it, simplify it, to make the complicated things simple, not make the simple things more complicated. That's the whole thing about the speech. Tina, where are you? You are very good, because that you have the sense of humor. That is, you started, oh, I don't have time because Kara took all my time. It's wonderful, which means you master the stage. You can be humorous. When you are humorous, you are okay, man. You control it. And that is something I really enjoy very much. I may have and the pleasure, and that's pleasure. Please remember the pleasure. Victor, you are the rising star. You guys have all the ladies notice? Such a handsome young man, right? Such a don't do that. No, that's sexuous. No. So handsome, and you are natural. Really, you are now because you are this is the first few times you have natural. You have eye contact. When you have eye contact, which means you dominate the stage. Stage is yours. This audience belongs to you, and that is the way. So, the only way to do it, as I suggest you, just come here more. That's the only way. There's no other way to improve. Just come here. Okay? So he is scheduled for November speech, I think. Right? He told me already. Orenda, where are you? Orenda, this is wonderful because this is your first time, right? I can feel that you're so nervous, right? so damn nervous. It doesn't matter because next time you'll be much, much, much better, right? So I would suggest you can see Orenda. She's nervous. That's how you started with R counter, with timer, then with table topic, and then gradually, and that's the only way. Only way. There's no other way. Just come up and try to practice. Where are you? Variety session. That is marvelous variety session. Variety session is warming up to engage audience. You engage every single one of us, and that is the whole purpose. I can see Carol is smiling all the time because you really engage her, right? So that is something. I think everyone enjoyed the show because everyone is smiling. I was looking back. So that is a wonderful, wonderful skill. We all can learn from him. We all can. Mike, I have something for you. Mike is something, he's very good. See, timing is very important. Mike is very good. We can learn from him. He pause. He doesn't, you can see, this is something we can learn from him. He knows how to engage the audience. He'll always pause. He say something that's, wait for a few minutes for us to digest it before it goes to the next one. There's something we can all learn from him. And he engage. Whenever he comes up, he engage people. And the only thing is that stress is not a dessert, right? It's not very English. Stress is only a piece of cake, for instance, right? That's very English. There's another way of saying, for instance, stress can be an obstacle or a stepping stone, just as you make them. For instance, there will be so much stress can be an obstacle or stepping stone, just as you make them. My time is up. I just want to say the last thing. For the evaluators, I only to comment only two evaluators. David, you spend most of your time trying to praise. That's about 22 minutes and 40, about 2 minutes and 30 seconds. I was sitting right here to say how good it was, how good speaker. Then you have to, I'm going to give you some comment. The time is up already. You have the last minute to do. And I just want to say the last thing, and this is something very important for all the evaluators. Please look at your manual. In the pathway, there are 3 things. Do you know what? Forget about the post, kiss, kick, and kiss. And you kiss all the time. It's wonderful, and time is up. So I'm looking forward to the next speech. You're not helping the people evaluate at all. So what you do, and actually you take a look at your manual. It's right there. Actually, there are 3 parts, equally important. The first part, you kiss. Oh, you did wonderfully. But second part, you go immediately. How can you improve? And you say 1, 2, and 3. Otherwise, how he's going to improve? It's so vague, right? And there's a third part, even better. So I look forward to see. This is aspiration. In 1 year time, you will be dominating, and you just raise the people up, right? What did you good? Exactly what you can do. Then you give me aspirations, right? Carla, you're much better. But still, you spend 2 minutes and say how wonderful you are. You only 1 minute to do that. And we all do that, all of us. But this is something, it's the discipline. Look at the manual. This is what I taught them. I really spend more than I should be. Jerry, no. Toastmaster of evening, please. Thank you.